Coming out of the bye week, 7 games left. You're going to hear my predictions today on those 7 games. Can the Colts go 7-0? Will they go 0-7? All that and more on today's episode of the No Horsing Around podcast. What is going on, Colts Nation and No Horsing family? Welcome back to another episode of the No Horsing Around podcast. On today's episode, you guys, we're going to kind of look. We're coming out of the bye week. We got the final stretch here. 7 games left. That's all that's left of this season for the Colts. A surprising 5-5, I think, by a lot of people. You heard me and Zach both kind of predict at the beginning of the season. I thought 7 to 9 wins. So, I'm feeling okay. We kind of both felt that, but we also thought we'd see Anthony Richardson longer, and that didn't exactly happen. So on today's show, I want to kind of go through the last 7 games. Colts are sitting at 5-5. What do we think? Where are they going to end up? We're going to kind of go piece by piece, look at each one, and kind of play with it and see what we think. So obviously this weekend you are at home against the Tampa Bay Bucks, a solid team. Baker Mayfield has played pretty decently lately. You're coming off of the bye week. You're coming off of playing in London. They won last week. They put up a big score against the Tennessee Titans. I personally think the Colts are going to get the win.
Want a chicken dinner.
So, that's kind of where I sit. So, we're going to go – that's going to put the Colts at 6-5. Next up, you go to Tennessee, to the Titans. The Titans are a reeling team. They think they have found their quarterback. Y'all know that I do like Will Levis. I liked him a lot coming out of the draft, but I think I just don't see – y'all know I said at the beginning of the year I had this weird feeling in my stomach. I had this odd feeling about the Tennessee Titans that living here in Nashville, there was a lot of talk of how good they were going to be. I didn't see it. I had this weird sneaking suspicion that they were kind of very similar to the 2022 Indianapolis Colts. A lot of hype, and they were going to fall flat on their face a little bit. And they kind of done that. They have a really bad O-line. They have DeAndre Hopkins. That's about it. They have an aging Derrick Henry. They don't have anybody else on the offense that scares you. They don't really have anybody on defense too much that can scare you. They do have Danico Autry. They're not producing as a defense. Their quarterback is kind of unsteady. Tannehill's going to be out the door. Their coach looks like he doesn't want to be there. There's massive, living in Nashville, I hear this. There's massive dysfunction in the Titans organization right now. And this week, at least this week, they play the Panthers, so you lose to them. I've told all my Titans friends, you are official. Congratulations. You are the worst team in the NFL at that point. I'm going to predict a win. I'm hopefully going to that game. So I'll be kind of excited if we can get that win. That puts us at 7-5. But yeah, when we play the Titans, I've got us getting a win.
Want a chicken dinner.
So then you're going to Cincinnati. This was a game that I felt that the Colts were probably going to lose, but obviously changed tremendously over the last couple of weeks with the Joe Burrow injury to his hand. For him being shut down for the season, Jake Browning is no Joe Burrow, although he was really good at Washington. He's not Joe Burrow. They still do have a lot of weapons. Trust me, T. Higgins has been in and out. He's in my fantasy lineup. He's been a big disappointment for me this year at least. You're going to Cincinnati. Man, I'm going to sound like a homer here, but I think that's another win for the Colts.
Want a chicken dinner.
That's going to put them at 8-5. We're looking at 8-5 now, okay? We're right around that range. So then you're going to go and you're going to play Pittsburgh. And you're playing that at home. Man, it is something about Pittsburgh. Right now they win games. They are outgained in every game. They don't have a solid quarterback. They don't really have a great run game, although they've got a new guy in there. He's looked really good. Pickens is very explosive. The defense is still the defense. It is still TJ Watt. I think the Colts lose that one. I do. I think that puts them at 8-6. I think they lose that one. It's a tough thing, but I think they lose it.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby!
So I think they get a loss there. Then you're going to Atlanta in week 16. I think that's a win. I think that's probably an easiest win
chicken dinner.
of most of the ones that they've had lately. I don't think they're not settled at quarterback. They have some good weapons. Drake London's very talented. Kyle Pitts is very talented. They don't seem to know how to use them. Bijan Robinson has been very good. But I think the Colts get that win. I think that moves them to 9-6. My God, you guys, like as I'm going through this, like I'm kind of surprised as I go through this on the win total that I'm getting. So you move to Las Vegas. I think Vegas is a dumpster fire, although I don't think they're as big as they were. If this was Josh McDaniels, y'all know my hatred for him. I think he's the worst coach in NFL history. He's the biggest snake in NFL history, and I hope he never gets another job in the NFL. But I like Antonio Pierce, and they're playing with a little bit more oomph in them. Where are they sitting at week 17? How do they feel? They're playing hard for him. I've actually been on the standpoint with the Raiders that I think that if they show any life and they look good under Pierce, that they should probably end up hiring him because they screwed that up so royally with Bisaccia and hiring McDaniels and not hiring the guy who got them to the playoffs. We're at 9-6 right now. I'm going to say it's a win against the Raiders. Yeah, I'm going to go win against the Raiders.
Chicken dinner.
That's going to put us at 10-6, squarely at this point, probably in the wild card race. And then in the end, you go, you're at home against Houston in a massive game. According to this, right? Like we're sitting here 10-6. I think we don't get that last game of the season. I think we go 10-7. I think CJ Stroud has looked really, really good. And I think he's only going to continue to impress. If they do well, I mean, let's going into this game, we're sitting at 10-6 supposedly, right? If you go over to Houston, and let's click at Houston's schedule real quick. Let me pull theirs up. I mean, Houston could very well be fighting for the division. I mean, they've got the Jaguars, the Broncos, the Jets, the Titans, the Browns, the Titans, the Colts. I mean, they've got three division games in the last 4 weeks. Very, very possible that they're fighting for that spot. I think that that's probably going to be a loss for the Colts.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt! You make me sick, you big baby!
So I think the Colts round out the year at 10-7, which is massively above expectations. Even my own, I had 7 to 8 wins. I thought 7-10, 8-9, maybe 9-8, 10-7 would be a tremendous thing. You're down your starting quarterback. You lost one of your stud defensive tackles. I mean, and then let's not forget, in the middle of the season, you waive one of the biggest players in franchise history, probably one of the best linebackers in franchise history. I mean, you've been very injury riddled. You haven't had an O-line, and you have a first-year head coach, and you managed to go 10-7. That's a hang your hat kind of thing. Do I think that puts them in the playoffs? Probably not. But man, it would be if this all came true, it'd be a hell of a lot of fun, kind of getting to watch the Colts really compete into November, December, January football. It'd be a blast. I want to hear your guys' predictions. You guys tell me, what do you think they do over the last 7 games? I've got them going, 5-2 over the last 7 games. What do you guys have? Drop it in the comments. And you can see my new little flashy thing right above me right here. Join the family. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you ding the bell. Share it with a friend. Let us know what you think. Join the family. And as always, you guys, I end these things the same way I always do. I love you. I know Zach loves you. I'm out.